Gang, hey man, I'm responding to a banger comment. Make sure you watch this video to the very end because I got a ton of gold nuggets packed into this video like I always do, but this one even has more gold nuggets. So make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and also if you have not done so already, jump into the CLG community. You get a 7-day free trial. It's only $48 a month after that, and you get access to everything, and you get a free DM, or you get a free one-on-one when you DM me. As soon as you get in, you get access to me, you get access to all my content, all my secrets, the live Q&As, every single thing. So make sure you jump in, and without further ado, let's just jump into this video. Okay, so this comment hit deep, so I want to read this comment because I definitely know where this guy coming from, and then I'll give him my backstory, and then we'll go from there. So this is a shout out to David Fola 1390. He said, when I first started watching your videos, I had a lot of doubt toward what you were saying, but I noticed that my relationship with girls was going well, but not romantic. I still had this belief that their way treat. I think he meant to say that the way to treat a girl, but I still had this belief that the way to treat a girl without turn down my care for girls until one last incident that gave me an awakening that I couldn't go that way no more. So I had to turn down care for girls and do things on my own terms. And I was shocked how submissive they act. So a lot of people watch my content and they don't necessarily live in the US. So, you know, I can probably understand, you know, English might not be his first language, or maybe he translated it and it came out this way. But basically, the premise is he didn't think what I was saying was true about women, right? He didn't think turning down your care, you know what I mean, being more selfish, moving to the BDO drum, making things happen was actually gonna give him positive results. He thought being a nice guy, you know what I mean, basically doing everything that he was taught that he thought was correct would be the way that he would get the most results. But what he found was he found himself in the friend zone. Now, the friend zone is a really bad place to be. There are a lot of girls that are like in my rotation, and there are a lot of girls that I've hooked up with that genuinely have guys in their friend zone. And when I meet the guy, I know the guy wants to have sex with this girl. She knows that he wants to have sex with her, but she knows that he's not like that. So his punishment is the friend zone. Now, with a person like myself, I don't know if it's my eyes, I don't know if it's my energy, but girls don't want to be friends with me. Like, for example, if a girl isn't sexually attracted to me, and even if I suggest being her friend, she doesn't want to be my friend, because she knows that, like, okay, CJ's not like that. Like, this dude CJ, every time we get along, he gonna make a move. Like, and girls knowing themselves, they're going to fold eventually. They're going to fold eventually if you're just patient. This is how come I've never understood why guys grape girls. They don't have to. So, what the girl does to the guy that's a friend zone, not only does she tell him that you're not man enough to get any from me, but what I've also noticed is if the girl successfully friend zones the guy, because I have a friend that's in the friend zone with this hot chick, and she introduces her friends to him, but he never sleeps with her friends either. Because it's like, if you're not sleeping with her, how are you going to get her friends? The rumor has already spread that you're not like that. You got to understand, even with the girl's way of questioning you when she first meets you, she's trying to understand what type of guy you are. If she realizes that you're a dweeb or not like that in her mind, I'm not going to say the word dweeb because it's not the guy's fault, because the guys were conditioned to think this way from the jump. Now, luckily for me, my epiphany moment was I got my heart broke twice, back to back. And then I just went into, you know, like, I don't give a F about none of these girls. I just went into that type mode. And then my results start skyrocketing, like almost immediately. And I was able to see the results because I was already going to high school with these girls. And luckily I went to high school with a bunch of bad bitches. And I was already going to high schools with these girls. And when I switched from good boy to, now I was always dating the hottest chick, but I was never hooking up with the chicks. I was just a one guy girl. Like, I was faithful. I was everything. I did everything by the book. And it was crazy because I wasn't a bitch outside of women. Like, the kids I grew up with, they'll tell you, you know what I mean? I played football. I was one of the hardest hitters on the team, even though I was skinny as hell. I wasn't afraid of contact. I wasn't like soft. I was quiet. So some kids would maybe think that I was soft. But if they kept jigging at me and playing with me, they realized very quickly, I was like that. Like it was, when it was time to go, it was time to go. You get what I'm trying to say? And even some guys that I got in a fight with that I surprised, and, you know, I ended up beating them up, or whatever the case is, they came back around to be my friend because they was like, damn, bro, I ain't really think you was like, I ain't think you could fight. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't think you was like that. Like, respect. Like dudes, like, you gotta understand how guys are. Like when we, and the guy I'm talking about was a black guy. So all this black on black crime that everybody keep talking about, I noticed it when there was money involved, drugs involved, somebody killed somebody from the other side, things like that, or if there was a girl involved. But if it's just a disagreement between you and your homeboy and y'all go to fighting, me and my homeboy, the nigga that tried to dap me up, we was disagreeing. We had the same class. We was sitting at the same desk. It was a science class, and we was supposed to dissect the fish or some shit. So we supposed to dissect the fish, and then the big kid, like, he like 6'2", whatever the case is, he big ass black dude. He not from my hood, but he from the Sanford hood, and he just taking over everything. And I'm like, damn, let me get my dissect, because we was supposed to like dissect it. So I was like, all right, man, it's my turn. He just was pissed. I don't know, something crawled up his ass that day, but he was just like, nah, nigga, you wait your motherfucking turn. Like I'm gonna do this shit. I'm gonna give it to you when I'm fucking ready. So I'm like, bruh, stop tripping, bruh. Just pass the thing. Like it's my turn to do the dissection. Like, he did some cuts. It was my turn to do some cuts. And I was a kid, motherfucker. I want to play with that shit too. I want to cut that motherfucker up too. And then motherfucker just started getting loud and rowdy. And I'm like, hey, bruh, you better lower your motherfucking voice. And he said, what the fuck you gonna do, nigga? And this is the crazy part. He stood up, hit me first. And I usually always hit first. This nigga hit me right in my he hit me right in my nose. Man, I beat that nigga ass down so goddamn bad, I didn't even feel his hit. I was bleeding. I was bleeding from my nose because he hit me dead in my nose. But my nose was sensitive. I always bled. Like, I used to wake up with massive nosebleeds. If somebody touched my nose would bleed. Man, I beat that nigga ass so bad in that motherfucking classroom. As soon as he hit me, I went to bam, bam, bam. Had his ass squared up. The teacher, she used to be a fullback. Now, this is crazy. She was a big chick. She used to actually play fullback for high school. So, she was like strong as fuck. Man, the teacher ran and tried to grab me. I'm whooping this nigga ass so bad because he cornered up, balled up. I threw the teacher off me. This is 7th grade. I threw, my little skinny ass threw this big lady off me. But I guess he thought that she grabbed me. So he let his guard down. As soon as he let his guard down, bam, cracked him right in his goddamn eye. And that motherfucker grabbed his eye and then did this. And I started cracking his ass again. And then the teacher finally grabbed me. And she finally got me off of him. Then we went into the office. His whole shit was swelled up. My shit was bleeding. But it wasn't like a lot of blood. It was just leaking because he hit me in my nose. And the teacher called my mom and she said, your son might be possessed. Like, she was like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I played fullback in high school. I'm not no small girl. Like, she's like, I was the starting fullback for my high school. She was a big back fat chick, like, but strong, and she was a dyke. Like, she didn't even date guys, she dated girls. Big old strong chick. That's how big this lady was. And she was like, he threw me off of him, and he can't be more than 140 pounds. Like, I was a little kid. She was like, he can't be more than 140 pounds. She's like, I grabbed him, he threw me off of him. So, and then the principal even said, everybody was saying I whooped his ass. Everybody in the class, it was one of the girls I was messing with in the class, and she was like, you beat the fuck out of him, or whatever the case is. And he even came up to me, even at the fact, and he bigger than me, stronger than me, tall, everything, big. And he a hood nigga, like, he look hood in the face. I don't look like as hood as most of these niggas. That's why niggas would try me. They didn't think I looked hood. Like, you know what I mean? But I always go back to that verse. You trying to judge him off his looks, that little boy actually robbing. When Lil Durk said that shit, I was like, I can relate to that shit. Because there's a lot of niggas in the hood that didn't necessarily look hood, and those are some of the most dangerous niggas that you ever meet. I remember my boy, this is my last story before I get back to it, but I remember my boy, little mixed kid, right? And he was bad as fuck. And I tried to look him up a while ago, and I called my homeboy about him, and he in and out of jail. But this kid was bad as fuck. Like, this kid was always stealing. He was always starting fights. I remember the first day he met me, my cousin was like my brother. But like, me and my cousin was separated for a little while. Like we went to different elementary schools. So like, when we both met at middle school, this little fucking mixed kid come up to me and he said, yeah, I heard a lot of things about you. And I'm like, what you heard about me? And he was just like, I heard that you can fight. He's like, you can't whoop me though. You can't whoop me. This the first day I met this little mixed kid. And I'm like, bro, chill out, bro. Like, why you all up in my face? He's like, you can't fight me, bro. You can't fight me, bro. And the nigga, I said, back up, bro. And he said, what you gonna do? I hit him right in his stomach, knocked his air out. And I just walked off from the gym. And after I hit his stomach, knocked his air out, this kid came back to me. He's like, bro, you tough as fuck. I fuck with you. The little nigga became my best friend. And I don't know why. He just kept following me around. Like, he wouldn't follow nobody else around. But when I tell you, this little nigga used to steal like crazy, bro. This nigga used to always come, backpack full of shit he stole. Man, I robbed this nigga. I robbed this nigga. I robbed this nigga. And some of the niggas he would rob in middle school would be head up. Like, some niggas, he wasn't sneaky sometimes. Sometimes he would just, I'm like, how you rob that nigga? He said, bro, I literally just walked up to him. I said, give me your fucking shit. He said, I went in his backpack, took everything I wanted out that bitch, and then threw his backpack on the floor and walked off. This nigga was demonic, bro. So, one of the days, we supposed to be sitting at this table that they didn't welcome us at this table because these niggas was from the same hood, like from Sanford area. This kid was from Winter Springs, and then I was from Altamont. So we used to sit at this table with them, and it was cool. But what ended up happening was one of the kids at the table, he was a star. They all knew he was a star. I didn't know he was a star yet, but I knew he can run track really fast. But I didn't know he was a star yet. But everybody was perceiving him to be like this star because he was long, lanky, and he was fast as fuck. And he actually did go to the NFL, so they was right about this kid. He was, and he had braces and stuff, but like, he never really talked or nothing like that, but because all the niggas in the hood would always back him. So what ended up happening was he had this girlfriend at the time. I'll say her name because ain't nobody gonna find her, but if they do find her, let me know about her because I was in love with this girl. He had this girlfriend named Valerie. And this guy was taller than me, more athletic, whatever the case is. Now, back then, I didn't know that much about women, but I just knew what I liked, I went after. And this girl, Valerie, was the perfect girl to me. Like, she had like green eyes, like she was like Spanish or something like that, but she had like a brownish kind of skin, perfect body. Like, I used to like fantasize about this girl. Like, I used to draw her and I couldn't even draw that good. So I used to always talk to her, and she would always talk to me. Like, it was crazy. Like, she'll walk me to class. Like, we would always talk. And this superstar guy who did play in the NFL, so he was like that. Like, he was really, really talented. He was starting to spread the rumor to the hood, to the niggas in the hood from Sanford, was like, don't kick it with this nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Don't kick it with this nigga. But I didn't know that. And, you know what I mean? Because I was kicking it with his girl all the fucking time. But she wasn't fucking me or nothing. I just was so mesmerized by the bitch. Anytime she wanted me to kick it with her, I was there. Like, you know what I mean? And one of the days we sit at the table that we usually always sit at, and they tell me, hey bro, you can't sit here. So, and I'm like, what the fuck y'all niggas on? Like, you know what I mean? Because the first thing I want to do is fight. But I also know that I'm outnumbered, and one of the guys, his dad is the security guard for the school in the lunchroom. So like, his actual dad, like, is the security guard, and I was cool with his dad. You get what I'm trying to say? So I was just like, you know what I mean? I'm like, what y'all niggas on? He was like, nah, bro, you just can't sit here no more, bro. Like this ain't the table you can sit at. And I'm like, well, shit, that shit coming out of nowhere. You feel me? And I didn't really actually want to sit there anyways, because I ain't really fuck with them niggas like that. Because literally me and the little mixed kid, we would just talk to each other when we sat at this table. So I was just like, all right, bro, whatever. Like, I was not gonna sit there. I'm like, if I'm not welcome, and it's like 5 against 2. So I'm like, ain't no need to get into this battle for no fucking reason. Ain't no need to get into this fight for no reason. So I was just like, I ain't even gonna, all right, bro, it is what it is. It's 5 against 2. I'm not. The nigga, I ain't gonna say his name, but the mixed kid, he picked on the nerdiest nigga at the table. So all the other niggas look hood. They got this one kid, he looked like a complete nerd. He got glasses, he light skinned, he got like a low cut. Everybody else got like dreads and shit, or growing their dreads. He got like a low cut. He wear like collared shirts to school, like clean cut. Like, he looked like a complete fucking dork, right? So Elijah, I keep trying to say the kid name. The mixed kid was like, you know what, nigga, fuck you, and picked out the weak. And that's what he tried to do. He always wanted to try to pick out the weakest nigga. So he looked at the nerdy kid and said, you know what, fuck you, da-da-da, I can sit where the fuck I want. And then all the 4 niggas got there, it's like, hey, bruh, just follow your homeboy and just like, don't sit with us. And he was like, nah, matter of fact, I'm sitting here, and put his shit down next to the nerdy kid. The nerdy kid didn't say one word, got up. And I don't know if the nerdy kid was left-handed, or I don't know if he just hit him with his left hand. He hit this dude so hard in his chest with his left hand. So I don't know if the kid was left-handed. He caved my homeboy chest, and you heard the thump. Because I was already like walking, like I didn't know my boy was still trying to fight. Like, I was already like kind of walking away. But then when I heard yelling, I turned around, but I'm still like 3-4 steps away from the table. This nigga hit my homeboy so hard in his motherfucking chest, all you heard was boom. And then my boy fell off the goddamn, the chair. Boom, fell into the dirt. And then I ran over there, and I was actually finna fight. And then, just to help my homeboy, then the security guard, which, one of the guys is his son. So the security guard was cool with me. So the security guard like, damn, what's going on? And me, I just never was the snitching type of nigga. So I was just like, nah, nothing, man. Just nothing, man. It's just, he said, yeah, I see a lot of commotion over here. I don't know how the security guard got over there that fast, but he got over there that fast. And I was finna go with all 5 of them at that point. Because the way this nigga hit that nigga in the chest, bro, I heard that shit. It was almost like a shotgun, bro. I was like, how does this little nerdy ass nigga possess that much power where he can hit a nigga in the chest like that and throw his ass off the seat, and you can hear the thump? You're boom, like I'm like, god damn. So that also goes to show you, like, you can't always judge people how they look. I never been like that. I've always been the guy, I give every man respect, but what happens is, if the guy keep jigging at me, or if he take it up too far of a notch, something switch in my brain, and I just be like, all right, I'm willing to die for this shit. Like, I don't, like it's, the disrespecting got so much out of hand, like, I'm willing to die for the shit. So, going off those stories and going back to the reason I even made the video in the first place with this guy dropping these comments. I actually used to be just like this guy. Like if the reason I wanted to read this comment, because I actually I feel this guy's pain. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? I actually used to be the nice guy. I actually used to be the lover boy. I actually used to give women the benefit of the doubt. I actually used to be all of these things that this guy basically summed up in that comment. And if I was in that lover boy state and I was listening to somebody like me, I would be just like him. I would think it was nonsense. I would think it was bullshit. You know what I mean? Because the media has told me that what this guy is saying is wrong. You have to care about women. You have to love women. You have to do the most about women. If you don't, she's never going to give you a chance. But here's what I'm saying. It's actually the opposite. The more you do for her, the less that she sees you as a valuable option. A valuable option. The more you do for her, the less she sees you as a valuable option. And it's crazy, bro. Like, I swear, and it sounds so like counterintuitive when I say this. And it sounds so like this nigga CJ tripping. But I'm not. Like, I promise you, I am not. If you have the CLG process and you stick to the CLG process and you stick to the script and you do everything right, not only will you have women, but you will have women obsessed with you in a way different way that you can even fathom. For example, I'll give you a story that just happened last night. So this weekend I went to I usually go to the Fort Lauderdale area. The reason why I go to the Fort Lauderdale area is because I want men to become elite. And in my opinion, I feel like if I'm not elite, then I won't be able to teach anybody else how to become elite. So one of the things I do is I go to very hostile places, like the Fort Lauderdale area, which is, they just don't like black boys. They're not racist. It's just that girls stick to their racial preferences more so than any other, more so than men do. Men will have a racial preference, but still will date outside of their race, if the girl's hot. Girls stick to their racial preferences, not like at a very high percentage. So I go out to the Fort Lauderdale area a lot just because I know that those girls are extremely difficult when it comes to black men. And every black man that I have taken out there, they're like, bro, this place is no joke. But every time I go to Miami, I do very well. Like when I go down to the Miami area, I do very well. I hook up with a lot of girls. Like, it's not easy, but they're more susceptible to black men. So yesterday, it was a while ago, but I had a deep one-on-one conversation with the Jewish lover boy. Because he was hitting me up. He was saying, bro, why don't you never hang with me no more? Stuff like that. And when I had this deep conversation with him, I told him why. I said, hey, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like your style. And, you know, you being so physical with women, like right off the rip, like I don't want to be dragged into like a grape charge with you or nothing like that. Like I know how you operate and stuff. So he said, so basically we had that heart to heart, and then he changed up his style a little bit. Like I told him, I basically said, I said, bro, everything else you got perfect. I said, if you can learn to use your words a little bit better, and then wait for the right time to be physical, I said, not only will your results go up, but you actually see hotter women, and your percentage will increase. And everything I told him, it came true. He turned down his aggressiveness, like physical aggressiveness, and his results went up. So he just got back in town from Israel, and now, you know, I got the stuff off my chest with him, whatever the case is. He hit me up and he was just like, bro, we should hang out. So I was just like, you know what? I'll kick it with old boy, right? I'll kick it with old boy, because he is a great wingman. It's just that I just had to stop kicking it with him for a very long time because he was too physically aggressive with women. And I just can't get caught up in those stuff like that, because, you know what I mean? Like, one thing I do is, yes, I get pussy. I don't grape. Like, I don't break the law. That's not really my thing. You know what I mean? Not those laws. Like, I might speed on the speeding, you know what I mean? The speed limit say 60. I might go 70. I might break those little petty ass laws there. But I'm talking about like stuff like grape or stuff like that. I don't play with that. So we go down to Miami area. So the reason I like how he wingmans is because we start out together all the time, but we have no problem splitting up. But some guys that I wing with, they don't want to ever split up. Like, they want to stay with me the whole entire night, but they don't know how to like break free. And then if they find a girl they like and I find a girl I like, you know what I mean? Like, every man for themselves. So we go down to the South Beach area. It's nighttime. We just was going to take one lap and then we was going to hit Brickell. Go down to South Beach. We take in one lap. We see a group of girls, and we don't. He's like, you like these girls? We don't approach them because they wasn't that cute. They was all dressed up and stuff, but they wasn't nothing that none of us was excited about. So I was like, nah, I don't want to approach them. He's like, me neither. And then we see another group of girls, fat and old. We was like, hell no, we ain't approaching them. And then he sees this solo white chick, right? Solo white chick is cute, but she's sitting down on the bench. So he just goes solo, which that's why I like how we wing. Like he just goes solo, talks to the little white girl. So he goes solo, talks to her, and he starts chopping her up. As he's chopping her up, I see one girl walking, but she wasn't that cute. And then I seen a very attractive girl just sitting like on the concrete thing, like on the little beach walk strip. So I walk over to her. And I do the CLG process down to the T. You know what I mean? And I'm actually going to break the whole entire story down in a masculine series, because I'm going to post, you know, a bunch of I'm going to just post some stuff what happened that night for the CLG members. So all the guys that's in the CLG that want like the in-depth on exactly how I got this girl from point A to point B in detail, I'm gonna post that in the CLG community in the masculine series for all the guys that have the masculine series. But long story short, this girl was a beautiful Mexican girl from California. The reason why I say a California Mexican girl, because my trainer, my homeboy's wife, which I never wanted to touch, I stayed away from, and she's my girl's friend, is fucking hot as fuck, and she's a California Mexican. So I don't really run into a lot of them. I think that's the only one I ran into, and she was gorgeous. This little girl was just as gorgeous, if not more gorgeous than her, because she's 23. Was just built perfect. Nice tits, flat stomach, the juiciest, fattest little fucking ass on a little girl. I mean, I promise this girl couldn't be more than 120. But the fattest little fucking Mexican ass on this girl. So I go over there. I literally follow the CLG to the T. You feel me? I'm talking about even my energy is fucking just flawless. You know what I mean? Nothing is rushed. Nothing is this. Nothing is that. I end up pulling the chick. I baby stepped her towards the pool. For all my CLG guys who are in the CLG community, you know what I'm talking about. I baby stepped her towards the pool. We literally get one drink. That's it. She even asked me, she's like, am I allowed to order a drink? Like, that's how submissive she was just with my presence. I was like, yeah, you can get something. One drink. Then we leave there. Then after we leave there, we was gonna go to another spot just to get something light, like an appetizer or something like that. Cause none of us ate. I was the one that was actually hungry, actually. But we went to that spot that was closed, whatever the case is. So then I just said, you know what? I was like, where's your hotel or whatever the case is, or where's your Airbnb? She was like, oh, it's over here. And I was like, you alone? Like, you ain't sharing the Airbnb with nobody? She was like, nah. I was like, all right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to your spot, but we'll probably like pick up like some Taco Bell or something on the way or something like that. And I was like, just find a Taco Bell near your spot. So what she does is she doesn't even put a Taco Bell. She just puts her address in my car. And she's like, if you see something on the way, we'll go there. And I was like, well, if that's your address, I didn't even say nothing. I just started driving to her address. I got to her address. I did see something on the way, but I didn't feel like stopping. So I basically was just like, we'll just Uber Eats it. You feel me? So I just went through Uber Eats. I told her to pick out what she wanted on Uber Eats, and then I set it through. The Uber Eats was supposed to get there like 30 minutes later, whatever the case is. Bro, this moment I placed the Uber Eats order and put my phone down, less than 2 minutes later, I am deep inside of this girl. Deep inside of this girl. One of the best sexual experience. This is just last night. One of the best experiences sexually I've had in a very long time. And from start to finish, it was literally just the CLG. Like, I'm going to share the text script. There was no texting. There was none of that because she was with me the whole night. So there was no texting before. Now, after, she's still blowing me up. She's trying to see me before she leave. Her plane takes off today. So she's like, I just need to see you again. I need to see you again before my plane takes off. So she's texting me like crap. I probably won't see her today, to be honest. But when I say that little girl was one of the baddest little Mexican girls I've seen in quite some time. 23, hot, fat ass, like just fucking nice little ass for such a little girl. Fat, juicy ass, nice titty. It was just a fun experience. I'm saying I'm gonna break down everything more in detail because I gotta stop on YouTube. Like they finicky about some of this stuff, so I gotta stop. Like, I can't really show like everything here, but in the Get Them CLG community, I can show it all. Like, you feel me? So in the masculine series, when I do make this video, I will show the text script after the fact. So after I left her crib and whatever the case is, because that's the only time we text, because I was with her the whole time. But when I tell you back to back to back, when I tell you everything that I say in these videos that girl went through, she was hyperventilating. She was like, tears was coming to her eyes. Like, she was telling me, like, she can feel when she thought I was gonna come, and she was just like, just don't come. I want you to fuck me forever. Like, just don't ever stop fucking me. Like, she's just like, just please don't come, like begging me not to come. She's just like, and she would just like go crazy. Like, you would see tears coming from this girl's eyes, how much she enjoyed the fucking pipe, bro. And I don't do nothing special in the bedroom. But the reason that she was like that is because 90% of women's orgasms is their brain. 90% of women is their mind. So if you done got the mind, if you did everything right, you follow the CLG, you know how to throw in, certain things that show that you are masculine. You know how to challenge her views, right? Because she was trying to do what most girls try to do. She was trying to challenge to see who I was. And it was things that she was bringing up that I disagreed with, because men disagree with stuff that women agree with. So there was things that she was bringing up, and she was doing this to test me, but she didn't even probably know she was doing it to test me. But she was saying stuff like, she was just like talking boyfriend talk and stuff like that, and talk about like, you know what I mean? Just like talking all kind of crazy stuff. And I was challenging her views on things. Like she was talking about like how she hates cheaters and isn't like a fan of cheating and stuff like that. And I told her, and I was just like, yeah, but men and women are different. And she's like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? I'm just like, I said, a man can love his girl and cheat and not be attached to the person he cheats with. I said, I don't believe a woman can do that. So she went from saying, she hates cheating to the point where she switched it. And then she was just like, she's like, no, we can be detached if we want to be. We can be detached if we want to be. I said, what do you mean by that? I said, have you ever cheated? She was like, yeah, once. So she was trying to play like the good girl because she's trying to see who I am. But when I fought back her like reality, then she was able to open up and show me, oh, I'm like that too. But cause she looks innocent, she was trying to play that role to see what type of guy I was. If she saw me as a square, she would have probably never gave me pussy so quick like she did last night, the first night. I'm talking about as soon as I got into the crib, we got it on. But if I would have answered the question like, oh my God, cheating is so bad. Oh my God, I don't believe nobody could ever cheat and da-da-da. And I played that role, probably would have never got no pussy from her. Probably would have never heard from her again. Probably would have never gave me a number. Girls naturally test how masculine you are in the most subtle fucking ways, because they want to know who they're giving their pussy to is a man's man. When she finds out that you're some liberal little fuck, she can be liberal. See, this is the thing. That girl was liberal. She's a liberal girl. She voted for Kamala, whatever the case is. She can be liberal, but she doesn't want you to be. I'm not telling you to be a Republican. I don't give a fuck about none of those parties. That red and blue shit is all bullshit. You feel me? Whoever is the best candidate, which they both fucking trash most of the times, whatever. That's who I fuck with. I don't believe in parties. I'm not no one side fits all ass nigga. Like I'm always red, I'm always blue. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I know it's bullshit. You get what I'm trying to say? So I'm not gonna get into the fucking parties things, but this is what I will tell you. Girls, and she said it herself. She said, it was things that she brought up that I was disagreeing with. But I only disagree with it because I truly actually disagree with it. I don't just disagree with stuff because like I'm just trying to get a reaction. But if she asks me a question and I genuinely don't agree with it, then I'll just tell her why I don't agree with it. And you know what she said? You know, most guys would be afraid to disagree with a girl because they'd be like, oh, she's going to leave me. She's not going to have sex with me. You know what she said? She said, well, opposites attract. So we had a little tiny disagreement. I just met this girl. And then she justifies how much she likes me by saying, well, I guess opposites attract. Instead of fighting my disagreement. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? So when I'm telling you this stuff, and going back to the guy's comment, CJ, I thought all the stuff you were saying was bullshit, but I always found myself in relationships with girl, but not romantically. Yeah, bro, that's called the friend zone. And that girl last night would have tried to put me in, she wouldn't have put me in the friend zone. She just would have never talked to me again. She would have tried to put me in the friend zone. I would have missed out on probably one of the best sexual experiences I've had in a very long time. When I'm telling you, back to back pleasure. I'm talking about fucking so hard and so long. Like, she was, cause I was trying to come, and every time I said I'm finna come, she was like, no, don't, you can't. So she was edging me. So when I finally did come, I was shooting all over the fucking place. Like, I was just shooting on this bitch. And even the second time, same shit, still was shooting a big ass, fat ass load. And I'm like, this girl was trying to fucking body me. This innocent looking Mexican, little California Mexican girl. And she looked so innocent and sweet. Bro, it was the time when I was hitting her missionary. And I'm just like looking at her face because her eyes are closed. And like, and then when they did open, it was like rolled to the back of her head and shit. But I'm like looking at her and I'm like, this girl is so fucking beautiful. Like in the face, her face was so fucking beautiful. Like, and I couldn't get the interaction on camera because for her, I was in the love making stage. So when I'm love making to a girl, like really like love making to her, like, you know what I mean? Not loving her, like just the experience is like love making experience. Like it's very like hands on. I don't really have time to grab the camera and film it. Now, if I'm hitting her doggy style, I can just grab the camera. If I'm just fucking the bitch, I can just grab the camera and film the shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, I didn't film the actual interaction just because you talking about like love making, like fucking up the sheets, like fucking for hours type shit. Yeah. And only we was fucking so long each time because she kept stopping me from coming. Every time she felt me about to come, she's like, no, you can't. And like, she just was just fucking losing it. And a lot of you guys would have fucked up with a badass bitch like this because you would have assumed her innocence because she looked like an innocent, cute girl. And when she would have stood up off that goddamn thing she was sitting on, you seen that big old fat ass that she had sitting. Because she had the titties, she had the flat stomach, she had all that. But when she stood up and you seen that ass cupped like that, y'all niggas would have resorted back to Loverboy and you would have fucked it up. I stayed cool. I stayed calm. I treated her like she was an ugly bitch. I treated her like a bitch that I never fall in love with girls. I just like them. And still this day, her plane is leaving today, and she been texting me saying that she want to see me today. And I just saw her last night till 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning. You get what I'm trying to say? So you got to understand, this stuff I'm teaching you, man, is real. It's raw. It's uncut. You got to lock into the COG. One of the things that she said to me was she said she was an earth angel, right? I don't even know what that means, but she told me to ChatGPT it. And she was just like saying, she's like, are there any numbers that you always see all the time? And I told her, I was like, yeah. I said, yeah, I see the number 1111 like all the time. And it's been true. Like every time I look at my phone, I always see that number. And then she looked at me and she like paused and she was like, you know what that means? And I was like, nah, I don't know what that means. And she was just like, it just means that if you see that number all the time, it means that you're on the right path. And not only will you be successful on that path, you're going to end up being successful more than your wildest dreams. So she broke that down for me. If it's true, you know what I mean? I'm happy for it. You know what I mean? Obviously, you know what I mean? Being successful, doing the right thing, doing it the right way. You know, that's all I pray for. But if it's not the end of the world. But yeah, I don't know what made her say that. I don't know what made her talk about numbers or whatever the case is, but she just brought that up. And you know what I mean? We here today. So, but I'm gonna end the video there. For all my CLG guys, I'm actually gonna go more into depth about that story from last night. I'm gonna show receipts, I'm gonna show the text scripts, I'm gonna teach you guys exactly how I got her from stranger to multiple fucking orgasms, like in a very short period of time. You get what I'm trying to say? So I'm gonna break that. And she was a dime. Like, the girl was gorgeous. Like, no cap, the girl was fucking gorgeous. And you'll see the video and all this stuff like that. So I'll post all that in the CLG community. For all you guys that's not in the CLG community, there's a 7-day free trial. It's only $48 a month. Literally, I pour so much value into that community that, you know what I mean? Like, I would even actually be hooking up with more chicks if I didn't care so much about the CLG community. I'm always trying to read everything that's posted. I'm always trying to get back to all my DMs. You know what I mean? I'm just pouring a bunch into those guys because I literally want those guys to become elite. So I don't hide anything. I don't hold any secrets. I just give everything real, raw, and uncut. And like I said, I'm not the tallest guy. I'm 5'9". I'm 175 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not nothing special. You get what I'm trying to say? But girls care more about how you act. So jump into CLG, lock in. You can find the link in the description or in the comment section. And with that being said, I'm out. Peace.